Hi friends, this is a political video. So if you are not interested in politics, please do not watch this video. I'm going to talk about the five state elections and my own predictions, which are based on my travels to the poll-bound states and also by interacting with friends who are living, residing in those states, and also watching a lot of videos, political videos, reading a lot, analyzing a lot. And these five state elections are rightly called as a semi-final before the grand final 2024 April general elections. Because any party which wins the states will gain a lot of momentum going into 2024. India of 2024 or 2023 is vastly different from 2014 or 2019 because of anti-incumbency and various other factors, which I will discuss it later. And therefore, building a momentum for the election, the general election 2024, these are all very important. And I've chosen first to start with Rajasthan uh, because Rajasthan is the most, according to me, suspenseful election in this among these five states. Very difficult to predict because of various factors involved, which I'll discuss it one by one. Though Rajasthan's import is a very large state, the largest state in area in India, but politically not that important because it consists of only 25 Lok Sabha seats, all of them won by BJP in 2014 and 2019. Compared to UP, which is 80, has got 80 seats, this is not that big. But as I said, momentum is very, very important. Rajasthan is considered to be a swing state as far as assembly elections are concerned, because in the last 25 years, from 1998 onwards, they have been changing the incumbent government. Three times it has been Congress with Ashok Gehlot as a CM, and two times BJP with Vasundhara Raje as a CM. So Rajasthan, you will be very surprised to know that castes too play an important part in any state in India. Among the Hindi-speaking states, probably UP and Bihar, and to some extent Haryana, the role of caste is very, very important. The quotient is very, very high. Whereas in Chhattisgarh and Jharkhand, it is probably the lowest among the Hindi-speaking states, probably because of the high number of tribals or Adivasis present in these two states. Whereas Rajasthan and Madhya Pradesh, somewhere in the middle. Caste do play an important role, but not as high as in UP and Bihar. As I said, Rajasthan has various geographical and cultural regions where the issues are entirely different. The castes involved are very different. The local dynamics are very different. That is why it is probably very difficult to predict. But overall, even every election, the way they vote is also different. So let me show you. This is the state of Rajasthan. So here you can see some major regions. So you can see the desert region, that is Jaisalmer, Bikaner, whereas the northern districts Churu, Ganganagar and Hanumangarh have been benefited from the canal waters coming from Punjab and Haryana, from Bakra Dam, the Indira Gandhi Canal. So we cannot call it completely desert district. Then this is Marwar, with the epicenter at Jodhpur. One of the city Jodhpur seats, Mr. Ashok Gehlot is contesting his home district, Jodhpur. Whereas this is the Jat belt, the Shekhawati belt, Sikar, Junjunu, even Churu, and to some extent Nagaur. These are all coming at the Jat belt, what we call it as a Jat belt, south of Haryana. Whereas Dundar is a region centered in Jaipur and surrounding areas like Dausa, Tonk. Dausa and Tonk are politically very important in the last and present elections because of Sachin Pilot comes from this belt, and is the community to which he belongs to. Gujars are very strong in this area. And we have got some areas which cannot be put in any category, like Bharatpur, which is bordering UP, Mathura, which broadly comes, same cultural characteristics as that of UP. Alwar, which is south of Haryana, which has got a lot of Neo-Muslim population. Dholpur, which is south of Agra and very close to Gwalior also, which broadly comes in Bundelkhand geographically in the Chambal belt. Then we have Hadoti, which is epicenter at Kota, and we have Mewar, which is epicenter at Udaipur, and the southern two districts, Dungarpur and Banswara, which are essentially tribal dominated, Beals dominated, which is bordering both Madhya Pradesh and Gujarat. So these are the essential geographical characteristics of the huge state called Rajasthan, and every place has its own language, its own culture, its own caste dynamics, and that makes it very, very interesting. I've been visiting the Hadoti region just before Diwali. I visited, and I've been visiting Bharatpur and Dholpur also. And while I visited Hadoti, I passed through Dundar, but I haven't had the opportunity, unfortunately, to go to other parts, particularly the western parts and the southern parts, during these elections. But I've been reading a lot, as I said, and gathering a lot of information, doing my own analysis based on past election results and the trends which are going on now. And we essentially, the BJP has not given a CM's face, whereas Congress has also not officially announced Gehlot as his chief ministerial candidate, but everybody knows that he is a front runner. Now, this is a very, very interesting politics now. There are 200 seats, majority is 100 plus 1. One seat, the election has been countermanded because of the death of a sitting Congress legislator. So 199 seats have gone to election, so 100 will be a simple majority. So as I said, the last 25 years there has been a tradition of changing governments every 5 years. So whether that tradition will continue or whether Mr. Gehlot will be able to maintain his rule, continue his rule, that's a big question mark. There's a big suspense, as I said. Now, in the last elections, Congress has done very well in few areas and BJP has done very well in few areas. For example, BJP has done very well in Mewar. It is centered in Udaipur, Rasamand, Bhilwara and Chittorgarh districts. Whereas Congress has done very well in the desert part, Jaisalmer, to some extent Barmer, Bikaner, Churu, Ganganagar, Shekhawati also Congress. Traditionally, as you can see, in the central part, in Shekhawati region and Marwar region, and in the desert region, and also in Dholpur and Bharatpur belt, it's Jats dominate this area. And Jats have been traditionally favoring Congress over BJP in the last 30 years or so. Unlike the Jats of Western UP, Jats in Haryana to some extent, and Jats definitely in Rajasthan, northern part of Rajasthan and western part of Rajasthan, to a large extent support Congress. Whereas BJP's vote bank, which is mainly Rajputs, the other major caste group, Jats are the single largest OBC group. You can say they may be around 9-10% of the population, whereas Rajputs are around 6-7% of the population spread over the state. But their concentration is mainly in Mewar belt. That is why BJP does very well. Traditionally, BJP has been supported by Rajputs because of Bairon Singh Shekhawat and other reasons. Whereas when you come to the eastern part, particularly Dundar and Hadoti, it is a competition between two other entirely different castes. One is Gujar, who are coming under OBC but who want an ST classification. The Colonel Bainsala and their demand for reservation, which has been going on for the last 20 years, is a separate story. And living side by side with them is Minas. Minas are ST, and most of the seats they overlap. So last election, Congress did very well in Dundar belt and to some of the areas in Hadoti also. because there is a belief among the Gujars, and the Gujars traditionally support BJP, whereas Meenas mostly support Congress. And Congress vote bank is essentially in Rajasthan is Meena, Jat, Dalit, and minorities, whereas BJP gets the support of upper caste, that is Brahmins and Banyas and Rajputs and Gujars. So this is that's why it has been, the governments have been changing every 5 years. But last election, Congress did very well in the Dundar and Hadoti belt because Gujars, who are traditionally supporters of BJP, voted in very large numbers. Some people say even up to 90% of the Gujar vote went to Congress because of Sachin Pilot. He who himself is a Gujar and was seen as a chief ministerial candidate if Congress comes to power. But due to that fact that Gujars are voting en masse for Congress, some Meenas went to BJP. That also happened. But in spite of that, Congress won in big manner in the Jaipur and Hadoti belt. And also in Bharatpur and Dolpur also. Dolpur, which is the home district of Vasundhara Raje, BJP won only the city seat, and where the 3 rural seats were won by Congress, and Bharatpur also, and Alwar. All this belt dominated by Jats. Congress again won in big numbers. But this time the winds are changing. Gujar vote is divided. From whatever I have seen, I have spoken to people. Gujar, because they are frustrated or angry with Congress for not making Sachin Pilot the CM. And though my opinion before when I went there just before Diwali was around 60% of the Gujar vote will go to BJP, around 30-35% to Congress, and the remaining to the local candidates and stuff. But what I hear from from people in the last 2 days, due to campaigning by Sachin Pilot, and also due to a lot of word of mouth to the village elders, etc. Some Gujars have returned back to Congress. I don't know how far this is true. Only we can find it on December 3rd when the BPMs are open. You have to wait and see. And that it makes it very, very interesting, the battle in Dundar and Hadoti belt. Whereas Congress is, the strength of Congress this time has been the welfare measures announced by Mr. Gehlot. From whatever I have travelled in the last 6 months throughout the eastern and northern part of Rajasthan, absolutely there is no anti-incumbency, which has been corroborated by various TV channels and stuff like that. Nobody has spoken against Ashok Gehlot. In fact, the BJP voters are what you call triple U. Urban, upper caste and upper class, triple U. Even they didn't find anything to attack Gehlot. In fact, one gentleman, traditional BJP voter, said that the reason why he wanted to vote BJP was, Ashok Gehlot has created a lot of new districts. I asked him, counted him, what is wrong in creating districts? Smaller states or smaller districts are good for administration. There is nobody who has said anything against Ashok Gehlot. The one of the scheme which has gained really important is traction is the Chiranjeevi scheme, which is 25 lakh per annum health insurance for every family, and many of them are benefited. And farmers also got benefited because their loans which are taken from the cooperative banks, it has been waived off, and a lot of benefits have been given to women. They have been given annual honorarium, and gas cylinder is also, the government has reduced the price and all that. And now they have also given mobiles to girls and widows, etc. Widow pension scheme has also been started. So people have been telling very good things about Ashok Gehlot, and he has hired a PR firm also the last 1 year, and they have marketed it also very well. So there's no on the ground side, there's absolutely no anger. In fact, one woman I spoke to when I traveled from Kota to Bundi, around 1 hour, she was sitting next to me on a bus. Though she comes from a family of BJP supporters, she has got only good things to say about Gehlot and the way this. And when I went to Jalavar, the sitting seat of Vasundhara Raje, that's a safe seat for BJP. But the rural seats, there are three seats are there. All the four seats in the district are held by BJP. But what I heard is the remaining three seats is very very tough this time. So the this everybody, whenever you talk to people, say it is kante ka takkar hai. Very beautiful Hindi word. It means very tough competition. You can't predict it, the winner anyhow. BJP's advantage, BJP has brought in no local issues. In fact, they don't have any CM face also. They fought on only Mr. Modi's charisma. And in fact, Modi has a very, attended a lot of meetings and this thing in the road shows. Also, one road show in Jaipur on the last day of campaigning, which they say has been beneficial to BJP in the city seats in Jaipur, some of the swing seats. But they have no local issues. They are just banking on Modi's charisma on the one hand. On the other hand, the expected, the tradition on the last 25 years that every 5 years the government will change. Whereas Congress, I think, ran a very positive campaign about their the what the work, the welfare measures, what they have done in the last 1 year, last 1.5 years, and also the guarantees what they are planning to do if they are voted back to power. And one another issue which is finding traction in some other districts like Dausa, Tonk, Savai Madhapur, the drier districts, is the Eastern Rajasthan Canal project, where water will be transferred from the water surplus Hadoti to the water deficient Dundar from Chambal and some of its tributaries like Parvati and Kali Sindh rivers, which flow through Hadoti region, and water will be transferred to the more drier Dunda region near Aravalli Hills. So that has no traction in Hadoti because Hadoti is water rich. Kota has water bed. Chambal flows through that also. So that is also another factor which I don't think many experts, the so-called experts, are not taken into account. Now coming to the polling day, this time the voting percentage according to the election commission is around 75.8% or so, which is around 1% more than the last 2018 elections and around 0.5% more than the 2019 Lok Sabha election. And that is not a big thing, though people have been saying there's bumper voting going on, which shows that there's a strong anti-incumbency and all that. I didn't see anything on the ground, and the final results, final voting percentage announced by Election Commission also did not say anything about that. Yes, in certain areas there have been bumper voting, about which I'll